Good day. Today is June 14th, 2026, and it is Sunday. Hope you're all doing well. Let us get right into it. Continue to pray diligently for those who are sick and suffering, and for those who are treated with injustice. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostra, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Most Holy Divine Family, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany. Most Holy and Venerable Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility, and I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Most Holy Trinity, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O most Holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Most Holy Divine Family for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven and for the souls in purgatory. O most Holy Trinity, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of the Most Holy Divine Family the graces which are necessary to us. O my God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostrae, O Holy Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most Holy Divine Family, as envisioned by St. Lucia as the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they have offended thee, my God, who are good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Obiscum, et quoque apud. Oremus. Fidelium Deum Iesum Christum, omnium conditor et redemptor animabus, famarum cetorum, remissionem contorum, tribue peccatorum, ut indulgentiam quam semper obteverunt piis supplicationibus consequentor, qui tecum viveta reinat, in una divina familia, qui erat est, et edit in aeternum. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Immaculatum Hostium, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offeditibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro enumeribus peccatis et offensionibus, et negligentiis meis et pro omnibus circumstantibus, seret pro omnibus federibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiat salute. Deum qui comunae substantiae dignitatem mirabilitur conditio mirabilis reformastu da nobis spiritus atque dum ministerium. Eius divinitatis esse consortes qui minitatis nostrae fiat edit not esses parte kebs. Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offedimus tibi Deum calicem saitaris tuum deprecantis clementiam, ut expectu divine majestatis tuae, pro nostra totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu meditatis, et in animo contritus suscipiam rete Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum in conspectu tuo hodie, ut placiat tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni Sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctifici de blata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas Sancta Oblationem cum tibi offerimus, a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et descensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostra, et Papa Peter Sanctorum, et Istorum et Omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere dignenter in caelis, quorum memoriam agimus in tedis, periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut mem equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudem et gloriam omnis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum obiscum, et quoque apud te, sursum corda, abamus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitur clementes mi mater et pater et Deum matram nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae supplices rogamus et petimus. Ut ecate habeas et sanctificas. Haec sanctam sacrificiam ilibata, in primis quae tibi offerimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam beatificari custodiri honore et regere digneris toto orbe terrarum, atque catholicae, memento Deum famorum getivorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Benedict, Michael, Santa Croce, Paul, Shelley, Therese, Cody, Ben, Jenny, Katie, Kathy, Maria Josephina Mose, Marilyn, Mark Jr., the Stevenson family, Letitia, Mindy, Todd, Clarette, and Dennis, Rochelle Dasco, Barbara Santa Croce, James, Robert, Gregory, Adam, Malachi, and Patrick Santa Croce, the Williams, Tafour, and Began families, Michaela McLarnon and family, the Kendrick, Shorten, Nolan, Dasco, Kane, Nye, Wolf, Camerano, and Pohalski families and all their good intentions. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange with no usury, and one that will not allow medical interference of the population. We pray the courageous men step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. And we pray for the elimination of all harmful radiation waves in our air and in our homes, from all electronic devices. We pray for wisdom on how to prepare our land for raising animals and for growing natural vegetables and fruits, and to share the harvest with our neighbors. We ask and pray for the gift of discernment and for an increase in the virtue, the knowledge and practice of the Catholic virtues. We ask that all quote-unquote gay marriage, all pornography, and the OnlyFans platform be stopped. We ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity. We ask that men and women cease working for Freemasons and corporations, and that women come to understand that raising traditional Catholic families is a high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a Catholic world. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We ask that Catholic families bring back Catholic morals and values, for women to stop getting cosmetic surgeries and tattoos and adornments on their face, and men to stop feeding their money, energy, attention, and time to sports, celebrities, worldly entertainment, and vices, and to focus their attention and time to raising Catholic families for the most holy Trinitarian Theophany, to save and free the souls of the Catholics from their sins and the heresies of the Jews. Please remove all forms of Freemasonry, Islamism, Judaism, Protestantism, and atheism, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. Guide the members into the submission of the most holy Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. We ask you to destroy the satanic document of the Vatican law, that is the Jewish Talmud. Please nullify any attempts to establish anti-Semitism propaganda into any rules, codes, laws, statutes, or policies. And we ask the Most Holy Trinity that all Catholics be given the grace to be accountable, so that we may each have a holy hatred for sensuality, as St. Catherine of Siena encouraged, a repentant shame for the offenses we have committed and continue to commit against thee, and a deep love of thee and of souls, so much that we desire nothing more than to be of service to thee in every moment of our lives. All this we ask in accordance with the most holy divine family's goodwill and intention. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi afferimus vero qui tibi frontox sacrificem laudis pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione annumarum suarum pro spe salutis et incolamitatis suae, tibique redunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicante semum honorantes in primis gloriosae semper Deum patram nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium torum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Luci, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis praecibusque cancedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae monum et exidio periendum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblatione de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem ac cateblem efficedi dineris ut nobis corpum et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pdidie quam patoretur recepit panem in sanctus aquanabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in canema de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum sum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecratavit fregi didique lumis sui dicens accipite, et mandocate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonias decipiens, et hunc preclarum carecem in sanctas aquarabilis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. consecratavit, dediquelumni sui dicens accipite et vivite ex omnis. Hic est ein in calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis promotis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Aequates cum proficeritis in mano facilis. Unde et memores Deum nos servituis, sed plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beate passionis nec non et ab inferis rejectionis, sed et in caelus gloriose scensionis offerimus, praeclarae maestati tui de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio axere nullur spicieri digneris. Supplice esteragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum iuli hic peferre manus tuum ut quod ex aquataris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sincerimus, omni sanctificatione celesti et gratia Dei per amor, per iam Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Grace Mannion and for Jose B. Telez, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis temet omnibum in Christum quiscentibum locum refugere iducis et pacis ut ondor geste proclamor per illum Christum Deum nostrum. Per cum hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sancta tua in mulier, Dea Matronam Nostrae, Matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris et intercedente, beata gloriosa semper Deum Matram Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis, da propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione seculi. Per iam Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tegem vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeterna pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te. Haec ex Deo consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat excipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Dei Matronam Nostrae, quabrande Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitantibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper inhalare mandatis, et ad inumquam separare permittas, Quicum eo dem Dea matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio copris tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego in inius sum rebraesum non mihi proveni et in idicium coronationem, servo tu pietate prosit mihi ad tumentum edis copris, et adam edelam percipiendam. Qui vivis et regnas cum Deum matronam nostra in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem et cipiam et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Dea matronam nostra non tundinius. Odetis et et meis in te requebus samparanam mea. Deum Iesum Christum non tundinius. Odetis et et meis in te requebus samparanam mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non tundinius. Odetis et et meis in te requebus samparanam mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribum Deum Iesum Christum promundibus quaere tubut mihi, calicem salutaris accipiam in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, audans invocabo Deum matronam nostra et ab inimicis mei salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. 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 Gloria Sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum puramente capiam et setim munere paraque nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod subsit sanguis quam patari et hedea o spiritus meis apraesta, ut in me non romania scela la macula quam purat sancta reficero sacramenta. Deum Obiscum, quoque apud te. Oremus. Animabus quesumus Deum Iesum Christum famalorum cetuorum, oratio propiciat supplicantium. Ut eas et peccatis omnibus exo et tua redemptionis facies esse paraticepes. Qui digam vivet reinat in una divina familia, qui erat est et edit in aeternum. Deum Obiscum, quoque apud te. Ite missa est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium, subitutis mea et praesta, ut sacrificium corporis tuae majestatis in nos obturitibis et acceptabile mihique et omnibus pro quibus idut obturis et miserante pupicabile, per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O most holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum matronam nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum matronam nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. We're going to give Martin Luther a break today. I found some sermons by St. John Vianney. Vianney. I don't know, it's kind of French to me. They're really good sermons, so I'd like to read this one. And I'm not sure if it's all part of one long one or different sections, but I'm going to do the one today on the evil tongues. There are some who, through envy for that it is what it amounts to, belittle and slander others, especially those in the same business or profession as their own, in order to draw business to themselves. They will say such evil things as, their merchandise is worthless, or they cheat and they have nothing at home, and that it would be impossible to give goods away at such a price. That there have been many complaints about these goods, that they will give no value or wear or whatever it is, or even that it is short weight or not the right length, and so on. A workman will say that another man is not a good worker, that he is always changing his job, that people are not satisfied with him, or that he does no work, that he only puts in his time, or perhaps that he does not know how to work. What I was telling you there, they will then add, quote, it would be better to say nothing about it. He might lose by it, you know. Is that so, you answer? It would have been better if you yourself had said nothing. That would have been the thing to do. A farmer will observe that his neighbor's property is doing better than his own. This makes him very angry, so he will speak evil of him. There are others who slander their neighbors for motives of vengeance. If you do or say something to help someone, even through reasons of duty or of charity, they will then look for opportunities to decry you, to think up things which will harm you in order to revenge themselves. If their neighbor is well spoken of, they will be very annoyed and will tell you, quote, he is just like everyone else. He has his own faults. He has done this. He has said that. You didn't know that? That is because you have never had anything to do with him. A great many people slander others because of pride. They think that by depreciating others, they will increase their own worth. They want to make the most of their own alleged good qualities. Everything they say and do will be good, and everything that others say and do will be wrong. But the great bulk of malicious talk is done by people who are simply irresponsible, who have an itch to chatter about others without feeling any need to discover whether that they are saying what they are saying is true or false. They just have to talk. Yet, although these latter are less guilty than the others, that is to say, than those who slander and backbite through hatred or envy or revenge, yet they are not free from sin. Whatever the motive that prompts them, they should not sully the reputation of their neighbor. It is my belief that the sin of scandal-mongering includes all that is most evil and wicked. Yes, my dear brethren, this sin includes the poison of all the vices, the meanness of vanity, the venom of jealousy, the bitterness of anger, the malice of hatred, and the flightiness and irresponsibility so unworthy of a Catholic. Is it not, in fact, scandal-mongering which sows almost all discord and disunity, which breaks up friendships and hinders enemies from reconciling their quarrels, which disturbs the peace of homes, which turns brother against brother, husband against wife, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law, and son-in-law against father-in-law? How many united households have been turned upside down by one evil tongue, so that their members could not bear to see or to speak to one another? And one malicious tongue belonging to a neighbor, man or woman, can be the cause of all this misery. Yes, my dear brethren, the evil tongue of one scandalmonger poisons all the virtues and engenders all the vices. It is from that malicious tongue that a stain is spread so many times through a whole family, a stain which passes from fathers to children, from one generation to the next, and which perhaps is never effaced. The malicious tongue will follow the dead into the grave. It will disturb the remains of these unfortunates by making live again the faults which were buried with them in that resting place. What a foul crime, my dear brethren. Would you not be filled with fiery indignation if you were to see some vindictive wretch rounding upon a corpse and tearing it into 1,000 pieces? Such a sight would make you cry out in horror and compassion. And yet the crime of continuing to talk of the faults of the dead is much greater. A great many people habitually speak of someone who has died something after this fashion. Ah, he did very well in his time. He was a seasoned drinker. He was as cute as a fox. He was no better than he should have been. But perhaps, my friend, you are mistaken. And although everything may have been exactly as you said, perhaps he is already in heaven. Perhaps God has pardoned him. But in the meantime, where is your charity? It's a good thing to think about this and not think about others who do it, but think about how I do it. Please pray. Love your neighbor and go and sanctify all those who meet. We'll see you tomorrow.